How's it going? So, hope everybody's having a great morning. So we're back here and we're about to work on some aspects here of level 3. So, there's a lot of things that I gotta do in here. So there's 3 main parts, like one auxiliary part of level 3. I just want to say welcome, to the game dev and Soul 3000. We're Heavenlyform. We're just a small team. Basically me, my brother, and and my wife. We're trying to put together a little video game. And hopefully, you guys support it and you guys like it. We're gonna try to do something new there. More to be revealed later. So, but for now, here, I'm the guy that's doing the art, the animation, and all that sort of stuff. My brother, he does the coding. Well, of course, without proper code, your game is not going to be that interesting. It'll probably look nice. So, I'm here to do like really, the best artwork that I can do for it. So, I did a bunch of tunnels for level 3. Not to give too much away here. You want some of this to be a surprise, but I thought seeing some development, certain aspects of the game, some people think that's pretty interesting. So I'm just going to take the big part here and I'm going to try to do some, some rough texturing and kind of get these big parts ready. Now, one thing that 3D Studio Max has that I like is that they have you could save like selected as, and save like a max file of anything you have selected. I think that's pretty fast. But Blender doesn't really have that. But what Blender does have is that you could actually go into a new, make a new blend file. So let's go new here, general. I don't want to save this. So what happened here? Oh, maybe I selected new 2D. I actually want the new general. There you go. Alright, so this is a new blend file, and I can actually reach into the other blend file with the assets that I want and bring them over and just work on that. So let's do that, because I'm going to break up level 3 into nice, into nice little bite-sized chunks, and then I'm going to put it all together just to see how it works. Okay, so I have a empty blend file here. Actually, let's get rid of the camera and the lights for now. Just completely empty. What is that? I'm gonna bring in a chunk of it. These materials that you see I have here is just matcap materials. It's just for quick visualizations and checking things out, and it could probably help towards like adding uniqueness to some texturing, but we don't really need it right now. So I'm just gonna close it up. There you go. Alright, so let's reach into that file. So what do you want to do? You want to append, to make a copy into this new file. So I'm going into this directories right here. Levels. Okay, so I see my level 3 right here. So I'm actually, the way you do it is actually double click on the blend file and just it'll actually make you dive into the blend file and see all these folders. And I know I made a collection of the first space I want to work on, so it's the building collection. So I just appended it, and there you go. What is this box right here? Oh, it's just for box mapping. Okay, so I had some little box mapping leftovers. Okay, let's see what we have textured so far. Got the building ground, little 2 walls. So let's try to see if we could organize as we go. Let's see what each thing is. So this is in collection 1, building 1. What I want to actually do is to pull this out of the collection. Goes into scene collection. Let's get rid of this collection right here. So building 1 is basically this entire building. Okay, this is a little note I had here for box mapping. We could take care of this later, so let's just clean that up. And I'm actually going to save this and call this level 3 area 1, or I'll call it, yeah, area 1. And you might actually want to actually name your things. So instead of building 1, I should have called it area 1, but it's all good. I'm just one guy. I don't have a team, you know, so as much as the organization comes, you know, it's for me to remember it. And the music you're hearing is not actually for the game. It's just inspiration for it, I think. And it's just music I found online that is free, you know, from free songs, from free music archive. And I'm just listening to it, you know, and check out free music archive and just look up different, you know, musical songs. And of course, you know, give the people credit if they ask for it and all that. So let's take a look at this. What is this? Well, this is actually part of that. That's weird. Let's see if there's a modifier in here. Nope, let's just single that out. Wow. It just has like some hanging vertices right here. But let's get rid of that. And let's just yeah, let's bring that to the origin, to the geometry. What we got? That's better. Let's do a little cleanup as we go. Okay, so we got a ceiling here. What is this? Okay, this is support columns. Or column supports. That's what I put in there. So let's continue with that. And new collection support. Shove that. So this is all the ground. This is the walls. Support beams. Is this a ceiling? So I'm going to make a new collection called ceiling. Call it ceiling. Yeah, part of like doing like a design is like organizing stuff so you could find it easily. It's just a habit of mine. I worked in an architectural firm and doing visualization, so you know you got to be pretty organized to remember where things are. Let me put building. And what I'm going to do is actually call this building called an area 1. Okay, this is how we're going to texture it in pieces. Now you could texture the view and everything at the same time, so we could do a little bit of that. So I'm going to do the ground. Just call this walls instead of level 2 walls. I think the walls, the ground, the seal, and let's see, ground. Yep. So that's what I got. I'm gonna start texturing this. And then, you know, of course, as you texture, you could add more detail as you go, right? And we should add the support columns too, just to see what that looks like. What I'm gonna do, I'm also gonna add like a little player guy. So the actual player in the game is like one Blender unit, like the size of a box. So So if I have a box and I put it anywhere that's basically the size of the character, always round, then I could tell if doors are big enough and that kind of thing by using this box as a proxy for the character that's in the game. So let's see. So this stream is on Twitch and of course YouTube, and you could get the game a playable demo of the game, a development version. You could get it on Steam and on itch.io, and you could download it for free and check it out. And as we release updates, you'll get updates up till the point where we close the game off of early access on Steam, and then we put it out there where you could purchase the game and stuff. And of course, we'll try to make it as reasonable as possible, so you could buy it and try to add way more features than what you see. This is, of course, we just put something out there for you to give us feedback. We want all the feedback that you have, that you could give us, no matter what it is. And just keep in mind that there's things to be added. Because it's a single player experience, we don't really want to put a roadmap out there, because it might actually give away some of the story of the game, for now at least. So maybe in the future we might put a roadmap out there, which I think would be a good idea for a lot of people, to see what's going on. Alright, that's enough of me talking. Grab wine. Okay, so let's see now. Okay, so I'm just using this as an anchor so I could like come to the center of this volume. There you go. Just kind of take a look around. Okay, so let's start with just basics, man. So these columns are already textured. Let's do the floor. I learned that you got to do the biggest things first. So let's do the floor and then the ceiling. Let's take a look, see what that looks like. The one that you see nice. Let's go back face coloring on this shade here and this shader here, and let's do some cavity just to give us some definition to see what we're seeing here. Let's take a look at this thing here. What's going on with that? Okay, we have two aspects to the floor. I'm going to work on the first aspect right here. I'm going to make this as dark as possible. I'm going to work my way up light. Okay, so I'm going into the shader tab. And let's isolate it. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna grab a floor from level 2 and drop it on here just to see what's up. Actually, let's try to start from scratch. Okay, so I'm gonna go into my textures folder and see if I get a texture that could fit in this floor here. A good thing to with floors, let's check it out here real quick. I could do like an edge around all the floors. Oh, this is still mirrored, so I'm gonna actually apply that mirror. fast way to apply mirrors is just Alt C and convert it to a mesh, and it'll change everything. Vertex, merge it by distance to make all the vertices merge together. Alright, we got faces selected, and then do eye, the inverse, and I just want like an edge on this stuff. What I'm going to do, I'm actually going to separate this, so I'm going to put P. Right, so we have two parts. Okay, let's see what we got here. Let's just go new. Just make a new material. I'm going to drop some color on there. Go new, do another material, drop some color in here. And something like this. And maybe the outer edge is red. Alright, I'm just playing around right now. Just unhide that and see what that looks like. Let's do something like this. Oh, I actually want this box to be in the ground. Alright, there we go. Yeah, actually that red coincides with the red here on this material. Let's take a quick look at this. Let's see if we could get that exact red right there. Let's sample this. Make it a little saturated. I think that's fine. Okay, let's see what we got here. Okay, let's bring up some textures now. Yeah. Okay, let's see. Texture library. This is what we got. What does tech have in it? That's an interesting texture. Let's see what this does. Ooh, it's like a okay, let's unwrap this. Into UV editing. Top view. Let's just do a basic unwrap. See, smart UV. Add some. Okay, so yeah, that laid out things. It's not bad. Okay, let's go back to shading. Yeah, it's just kind of like a thing of a circuit board. Let's control the mapping on this. texture coordinate. Let's get a mapping node. UV. Just tile this a couple times. Let's go a little bit smaller than that. Let's tile this like 10 times. Okay, what do I want to use this as? Or do I even want to use this? Let's see what else we have. We got pavement here. Let's see what a stupid tile thing like this would look like. It's not futuristic tile, but it's interesting. Let's see if we have any patterns. Let's get a pattern. Let's try this pattern. Can we drop in here? Or? It could just be how it's laid on the cup in the UV settings. All these are not tileable. I could actually go in and try to tile it in an app. Okay, let's see if we get like slightly bigger size. See what this looks like. Interesting. What is this one? this pattern out. This pattern is not bad, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna recreate it. I'm gonna make a better version, because right now it's like, as you can see, it has a Shutterstock stuff on there. It's just for ideas of what something could be. I think it's a pretty cool idea. So I'm just gonna make it and then duplicate it and make it into a pattern. So one way that we could do this in the GIMP. We could do this in any 3D program, or we could even do it in Blender and use it as a pattern, and use it as a texture. So how do we want to approach this? We could use Inkscape and use it as a pattern. Let's see. Blender is pretty quick, but let's try Inkscape. Okay, so Inkscape is a vector program that you could get for free on Linux or on Windows or on Mac. I believe you could get the Mac version of it. So yeah, let's look for that pattern. What's this one? Actually, this looks a lot better. I'll just use this. Yeah, that looks a lot better. Let's go further. So I'm not gonna bother to recreate that in that particular image, but I found a pattern that looks a lot better to me. Yeah, I like that. It's pretty interesting. I think I might want to scale to like half. It's somewhat tileable, that's fine. There's a slight seam on there, but it should be okay for what we need it to do. Okay, so I'm just gonna get rid of these other like little examples that we had here. Let's see if we can mix this and this and see if we could get something pretty interesting. Okay, so I'm gonna get a mix node, mix RGB. All right. Let's actually put this in here and see what we get. I'm just going to go straight out to the output of the shader so we can see what's going on. Let's try this for the factor and see what happens. I think that's pretty interesting. Let's try flipping it. Yeah, that looks a lot more interesting right there. Let's get a different mapping for this. Let's go 10. Just go find a map in 20, 20. I'm actually gonna make this I think the one on top needs to be tiled a little bit more. So let's go for the gusto. Let's go on like 10 here. 20, 20. Let's bring back in this guy here to show how small that will look like. I'm gonna stand right there as a guy. Okay, so if you're standing here as a guy, this is what you're gonna see. Yeah, so this tiling is gonna have to be a lot finer. We're gonna go 20, 30, 30. Let's go a little bit finer. 30, 40, 40. Yeah, I can live with that. Okay, let's see if this is actually working or not. So I think this works as is. I mean, we can make it finer just to get rid of all these little things, but you know, I think this is cool for now. I don't think I should add anything else to this. It should just be like this pattern that's happening. Okay, so what I want to do, I actually want to invert this. So I want the lines to be white. So let's not add the secondary pattern on here. This circuit board pattern. Let's add this. I'm gonna add a material mix node and add two different materials to mix between. And I'm gonna use this texture to drive the materials. Let's make a duplicate of this guy. Mix shader. Okay, so we got a mix shader. Shader 1. Shader 2. This is gonna drive. This is gonna be the factor between the two shaders. It's gonna save. Let's go into this view here. Let's just make this white so that we could see the difference. Yep. We should, you know what? I'm actually going to try to clean that edge up a little bit. We're going to edit externally in the GIMP. You see this little edge right there? That's what's causing it. Let's look on the other side and see if there's another edge. Yep, definitely. There may be an edge, a 1 pixel edge all around. We can either crop it, or we can let's just try to get rid of it through cropping. Now in the GIMP you could actually adjust the selection after the fact, so I could come here and I could do that. I don't know if with Photoshop if you can adjust the selections after you make them, but I think you can to some degree by now, but GIMP definitely had this a while ago. So I'm adjusting the selections. Oh, this guy doesn't want to. Okay. If you're gonna make a mess. Let's try zooming in a little bit more. There you go. Okay, now let's crop by selection. So image, crop to selection. Yeah, this image is supposed to be actually this size. That's why it looks so pixelated before. Let's save. Actually, Control E. Let's just save over what we had there. Place. Top-notch quality. Let's see if that cleaned up some of our edge. Yeah, it did clean it up a little bit. You see like where it has like a little mismatch. Let's just see if that's the only place that has that little mismatch. Okay, that's fine for what we want for now. Okay, let's just get some light into here. So I'm gonna go into my environment tab here. I'm gonna add a sky. Oh, we're still in Eevee, so we want to change from Eevee. Eevee is great and all, is fast, but we want to be baking things, so we're gonna need cycles. And my samples don't have to be this high. I don't have to go on noise threshold. I tested this out before. Let's go 64. That should work. A little bit of denoising. It'll arrive at the solution really quickly. No render, we can leave as is. Let's go back to the strength of 0.1. There we go. So we've got some of that back. Sun size is fine. Intensity is fine for now. Okay, let's deal with some of these things. So the white I want to be really bright. Let's go with that red that we were using before. Okay, so the reason why you're getting this kind of thing is because this is not, you know, we want to balance that better. So let's go to curve. See if this works to help strengthen the black and white in this a bit. Okay, we're getting somewhere. Yeah, I think we got somewhere there. Okay. Wow, that works surprisingly well. Okay, let's try for. Okay, so least a bit of roughness on this. Very little roughness, high specularity. Let's go for a little bit of metallicness. Probably like a 0.2. Specularity 1, roughness 0.1. I don't want to sheen, none of that. Keeping this thing simple as possible. And the ground, let's try for some roughness in the ground. Yep. This go 0.8. You tune the specularity down a bit. Let's go 0.1. Let's see what the emission does if you turn the emissions up on this thing. This emission's gotta be like red. Let's give it a little emission, not crazy. I think it's interesting. Okay, let's give this some bump. I want this to look recessed. Let's hide that. Actually, not hide that. I wonder if we could do the bump in here. So we got this. Let's see, UV texture. We got the mapping. Just add some bump normals to this vector bump. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna add it to the height. Actually, I want it after we adjust it, so okay, so this looks recessed. Let's tune this all the way down and then go black by 0.5 and see what we get. Yeah, so the other recess was too much. This is 0.3. It's distance 0. So okay. 0.5. See, we didn't have to have all that. 0.3. That's definitely what we want there. And what we want to do, we want to add the, this material to that. So oops. Probably could have like some kind of outline around here, so I'll have to work on that. Just shade this. This is a non-new mission. Mission might be too much for this. Yeah, it's too long that mission.
And remember, my friend, future events such as these will affect you in the future.
Yeah, it's definitely the effect that we want. Let's check the material in these columns. Okay, now we just want like a nice boring gray on this. Actually, I wonder if this outline should be black. Let's go back to this and see what this material is. This is material 0.2. Call this L3 floor. L3. Maybe this one's a dark, like a dark color. Let's take a look on normal. Maybe this does not want to be shiny. Turn on that specularity. Yeah, emissions is off. Let's take a look at this in render. Yeah, I believe I want to go darker. Want some more roughness. Let's let this resolve a little bit to see the effect of that. Let's get rid of this orange outline. Go completely black. Let's introduce some slate gray in there. Yeah, I think that's cool. Call this floor trim. Okay, let's texture this guy right here. Let's hide the ceiling for now. But what I should have done at the beginning. I'm just trying different lighting scenarios in the viewport here. Okay. Okay, let's look for a nice kind of rock texture for the stone, because it's supposed to be stone actually, so I'm actually going to bring in a material from level 2. Let's try one of these stone trims. Let's see what else I have. Interior floor. Actually, tech floor. Alright, let's try stone trim. Let's try stone trim too. Okay, yeah, so this is set up with a bunch of different things to give it that pop, so I just have to change out what kind of texture it's going for here. Okay, let's look for a good stone texture. Rock stone. Ah, this guy's interesting. It's just dropping. I mean, yeah, actually, I don't want this guy. I just dropped him in just to see what will happen. Yeah, I think I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself here. So let's see what this texture is doing. We're adding edges. Okay. You got an AO happening there. Ambient occlusion. Okay, so this is going into a bump map. Might want to turn that into black and white. Let's just see what this guy does. And this is, I guess this is controlling the texture. I believe this guy needs to just merge them together. Let's re-edit this guy. This is a non-square texture, but in the end, once we bake it, we'll make it square. All these textures will be squared. Okay, that's a lot better. See what effect this has. Ooh. Is that the color of that? I think this wants to be brighter to highlight any edges. Yep, and it's got some bump, that's what I thought. It's got some edge, some edge stuff happening. Gotta fix that. Let's see, stone, linear. So flat in one box. Right, and then we need some box mapping, right? So we're gonna actually add something for the box mapping. What we had last time? We added a any of these box mapping things? Oh, I actually do have some box mapping. Okay, let's grab one of those. Where's this guy? Let's put him over there. There we go. Yeah, let's try that box mapping on here. I want to make this texture a little bit smaller. I think that's done through the box mapping. Yep, like so. There's our little guy. Let's grab him. Let's put him over there too. Keep making that mistake. There we go. So funny how I could just work in a rendered view like this. Is so cool. Blender is so cool. I think this is cool, man. Like I think this is good enough. I don't want it too tiny, so it, you know. Maybe we don't want this to be that red. Let's try. It was fun while we had it, guys. But let's get serious. Going to the engineers where I used to work. Come on, let's get serious. Let's thin that down a bit. Let's go halfway. This guy should be black. Yeah, keep dropping them in there. Okay. And the box mapping, of course, solve any issues on the sides that we had. Yeah, these guys are calling on a texture called stone slab texture. Let's see if we could find that guy. Oh, they end up taking the same texture that I put on here. So let's make this something separate. Let's just check everybody to make sure they're actually receiving all the same thing. Okay. All on box mapping 1. And we'll land the UV of this texture at. Yep, object with box mapping. I'll have to go into another file to check what's going on with the wall there. But so far, I think the floors might be working according to this render. Let's get the sun a little bit higher up. So this is 15 degrees. Let's go 60 normally works. Yeah. And rotation of the sun. Let's go 45. Okay, now let's really take a look at some of this texturing, the colors of it. Okay, so this is really bright, so let's turn that guy down. Yeah, and he's matching up to the color that I have here, so that's fine, that's great. That's what we want. Go dark. Let's go a little bit lighter. Okay, and let's select this guy. Alright, some of these stripes are a little bit too light. If we go dark. Oh, that's interesting. Dark or lighter? I think a little dark. Yeah. Let's see. So the specularity and the metalness is in this dark texture right here, and then the underneath just have some nice white texture, has some roughness, and low specularity, no metalness. And to see how these things here are white, I think maybe these, let's see, this is still, I think these here should be that white. Okay, so they have their own texture, you know, which I'm digging. So that's cool. Let's see if you get, okay, so this is AO, this is the edges are great. So this is the actual color right here, but I think these should be that kind of white. There's some metallicness in it, so if I turn some of that down, don't want it that metallic. And they have a Fresnel color kind of jumping back and forth there. So let's turn off some of that blue and the red. Get some of the white happening there. Come in here. Let's do a definite white. Yep, it's ducking back a bit. Maybe we get some of that red in there so it kind of reflects some of what's happening here with the red. Yeah, let's do that. Let's go up like so, come back so. Come in here with some of that red. Yep. Yep, got that edge happening. No, these are shaders that I built to get that nice kind of micro edge on low geometry models. Okay, this is starting to look a little bit like something, guys. This is in my humble opinion. Okay, so we have to sort this wall out. This wall has all the right things, but what it doesn't have is proper mapping. I don't really know why it don't have the proper mapping, but we'll figure it out. Just add this, add that guy, add that guy. Let's add this guy back, and let's just join all these guys together. It seemed like the mapping issue kind of somewhat sorted itself out, but we're gonna jump more on it. Probably make that a little darker. We're gonna play around with some of these textures. I like what this texture is doing. It's pretty cool, and it is a different sort. I'm gonna call it wall, stone wall. Maybe we make that white. Now I'm gonna tag it with the L3 because we have other stone walls and I don't want to mix it up. Okay, hey, if anybody wants to chat with me in the chat, you know, feel free to type something. You know, I'm not sure if the YouTube chat is working, but definitely the Twitch chat should be working pretty good. So let's play with this. Let's play with this. The color of this wall right here. Put pure white and see what happens. Of course, it doesn't do like a pure white because I think it's being controlled by this color value. So this is a stone texture color value. So let's add a curve on there. Oh. Alright, so we're going from to black and white to this. So if I pump the white up, yep, I pull the black down. Okay, so there we get some control over that. It's a little too much right now, so we're gonna even that out a bit. I want to get some more white in there. Oh, okay, that's interesting. Let's take a look. I actually need to see what this material is doing, this texture is doing. So let's jump into this mode here, this quick texture preview mode. Okay. The base color is white. I don't know what's going on with our base color. Let's just test it. Okay, so the base color is white. What's this crack shader? Oh, okay, this is a factor, and then this is a okay base color cracks. I'm gonna whiten that up a bit. Are we going a little bit into our color? Just a little bit of that. That's interesting. Okay. We have something that's whiter, so that's fine. And it's probably on the shade side, so let's take a look. Yep. Yeah, so that's definitely whiter. Let's give it a little more crack color. Let's see, H. There we go. So I'm wondering, so I'm looking at the outer walls. Maybe I want to match back this color here instead of having it just white. Why is this reflecting? So, man, just a little bit of speck brings up that reflection. Need to be really careful with the specularity on here. Yeah, let's try to dodge that back. Let's go black. Okay, let's take some of that crack color in. Make this a little bit darker. It's black. Let's see what's I didn't even really look at the properties of the machine. Could have some roughness on this. It could almost just be a diffuse. It's all good. Yeah, I think I might be overkill for that. So let's try to bring a shader. Let's just bring a regular diffuse shader. Drop that in there. Let's delete that guy. There we go. Alright, let's bring it up to 3. Okay. Should be a simple diffuse shader. Alrighty. We're getting somewhere. Let's just look at the environment one more time. Okay, so I want to diffuse my sun, so I know if like 40 is gonna do it. Let's go to 30. Let's go to altitude a little more overhead, and that's 70. I actually want this part here to be more lit, so yeah, to be more lit, that's funny. Be a lot more lit up. Let's go minus 45, see what we got. They just switch sides. I think maybe like 180. So that side is lit. And this side is not. That's exactly what I want. We're actually entering through here. Okay, let's adding this. So we have the support beams, we got the walls, we got the ground. The ceiling could come later, and let's do the building. Let's take a look in a quick preview. Quick preview is good for like really, you know, like making sure the textures are great and looking them over. All right, so you know what? I'm gonna call this a stream. You know, if you guys like what you're seeing, leave me a comment. You know, send me a message. Info at heavenlyform.com. You know, you can leave a message right there in the YouTube comments. I believe comments should be on. If they're not, just email me, info at heavenlyform.com, or check us out on Twitch, the Heavenly Form Games on Twitch. You know, Sol 3000. Thanks for checking us out. So, you know, I think what we have in the end is pretty nice. You know, we have like this environment that, you know, we've quickly applied some textures to, and we checked it on the player level, which is right here. You know, the textures look pretty interesting. You know, there's more work to be done, but you know, being like a single developer on doing the artwork, you know, I'm the only person that's doing the artwork, and of course I said the other developer is my brother, which is doing the coding, my brother Peter, and my wife Cindy, who's helping us to do some of the post. I think for just, you know, the little bit of us doing this, I think it looks pretty alright, you know. Let me know what you think. See you guys later. Enjoy yourself. This is Nick signing out for, you know, Heavenly Form, Sol 3000 development video.